So oftentimes when I'm making up a problem and I get set up for the next move and I haven't come up with where I'm going yet, I very often have this instinctual desire to go to a specific hold. That usually falls in my style. I think that's true for most people. So when I get set up for this move, with that foot, my starting handhold, the first place I look is here. Big compression move. I love this hold. It's one of my favorites on the wall. My guess is that's going to be too easy for me. I'm really strong on this hold. It's right where I want it to be. Fits right inside my comfortable box. We're going to try the move, see how it goes, and then see where else might we go to make this move harder or cooler. Okay, so like I thought, probably too easy for me. Still a very cool move, and we could build a problem around that. That could become a single session project or maybe even a moderate. That's the zone that's going to be in. But I can find something much more difficult than this. Now, this left handhold is not that good. What helps me in this situation is that compression is my strong suit. I can unweight myself off of that foot. I can keep the tension. I can catch that and I can squeeze. And then it all works out. But if I really have to hold this and move a little slower, I'm going to be in trouble. So that's kind of what I want to play with. And maybe I change the orientation. Maybe I'm looking for something that's a Gaston or even straight down pull that doesn't allow me to compress. There's this Gaston here that might be a good option, and it's going to leave me in a really tensioned, really vulnerable spot. Okay, now we're in the ballpark. We're getting into project level. That move felt a little chaotic for me. It's just a tension that's not my strong suit. I definitely got there, so I know that I can do that move. It's just a matter of really learning it, really finding the positions, finding the tension. This move I really like. I think I'm keeping this move. It's a long way for the hand to travel, and you have to hold tension a long time, and I don't get to compress. So for me, this is perfect. So what I'm doing here is just doing the finish of the move from lower and lower intermediates so that I can learn that finish path, that finish tension. I'm learning that I really have to pull myself over that foot in order to keep it and in order to not fall away and be able to hold that Gaston. So that's valuable information to have. My move starts here. I've now done the move from here and from here. So I could come down again to here and then finally do it from my actual starting position. All right, I'm gonna move on from that. I like this move. Where to go from here? That's the big question at this point. I've got these 2 feet. I could also add other feet. I've got lots of our inductors spread around the wall. They're always a really good option to make a move difficult. So let's assume I was going to use one of these inductors. My initial reaction, my initial thought was to, from here, go to something near it, above it. I'm thinking, don't go big. You've got all this crazy tension you have to hold. You've got this weird foot you're pushing off of. But I don't know if that's the best idea, following my intuition. So what I want to try and do is maybe pull myself out of that tension using this foot, this outside edge, and then have to step through on this bad undercling foot out to an inductor out here. I'm hoping it's not easy to cut feet there and just swing them over. This hold is pretty bad, though I could flip that to an undercling, which might make it even cooler, and then I could potentially cut feet, swing them over. Now, like I mentioned before, I like the challenge of anticipating what people might do and trying to force them into specific sequences. However, if I wanted to, I could always say, as a rule, because we can make up any rule we want in here, I could say no flipping ramp. That's this hold. Then it's out of the equation. However, I like to anticipate it. I like that challenge, that puzzle. So I'm thinking someone might flip this. What happens then? Do you have to hold that tension walking through these feet or not? I think you still do. This is enough of a Gaston that for me, it's easier to walk the feet through. So my thought at this point is I'm on the Gaston here. I'm on ramp. I have to walk my foot through here. And I'm gonna step to this inductor here. It's one of the larger inductors. It's an inductor 60. Very directional, and it's gonna really force me to push into that right hand, into that right shoulder. And then I wanna find a hold that forces me to hold that tension. I'm gonna try so, which is this, and wit, which is this. See how those feel. They're the direction of pull I really am thinking about, so they might end up being too easy. Something I really like that works here is it's very tenuous walking my feet through. I can get my foot to here and then I can flip ramp, and it really helps me pull over that foot a little bit. I like all this micro beta that's making it come together, and the more of that I can create as I go, the more difficult the boulder is going to be. And I'm going to keep altering those variables to make sure I come up with something project level, whether it's adjusting them up or down. So now I'm going to change the direction a little, and I'm going to change the severity. I've got a much worse wood hold up here. That's quite a bit harder and quite a bit cooler. It fits into several of the categories I'm looking for here. Number one, it's a hold that doesn't get much love currently. Really cool hold, but just hasn't been used. And remember, that was the objective of this problem. So I think I found a winner there. Also, it allows me to use ramp as a big push foot. After I've been in my shoulder, I can then explode again, keeping with that same theme that I have here at the bottom. So let's explore that a little bit.
I'ma run this set. Yeah, I'ma run this set. I'ma run this set, and I'ma run it 100 so you never forget. I'ma run this set. Yeah, I'ma run this set. I'ma run this set, and I'ma run it 100 so you never forget.